you can genuinely do whatever you put your mind to. I wear so many hats. I am so many different things. I understand that may be not as palatable for some people to grasp. Either you love it or you don't. And I'm okay with whatever side of the coin that you're on. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I want to jump right on into today's episode. We're back again with another solo episode. I want to know this. Are you looking to reinvent your life in 2025? Baby, we are so close to 2025. Blink and then we're there. Honestly, blink and then we're there. Like that's where we're at. Ever since the COVID-19 happened, it's like life is like blink and then we're done. Blink and then we're done. That's literally where we're at. Do you want to improve your life? Do you want to boost your productivity? Do you want to change your mindset? Do you want to take control of your life? Take control of your finances? Do you want that? Well, in today's podcast, we're going to be talking about all those things from productivity to financial health, literacy, physical health, career growth, the whole nine. So I want to start out by talking about intentional living. Now, I know a lot of people talk about minimalism and I don't think I'm a minimalist. There are some things that I like to be minimal, but I'm more of I like structure. I like organization. I like for everything to have a place, but I also like my gear. So I like to have a little bit of everything, but I like for everything to be neat. So intentional living means that you are going to make sure that you have purpose in the things that you are purchasing or the things that are around you. So this obviously is going to look like you decluttering your house. I'm of the belief that you should have professional organizers. If you can't have it, like obviously maybe you can do it yourself. Obviously, how many times can I say obviously? Reducing your distractions that are around you, especially when it comes to your bedtime routine. And for me, someone that works from home and I can kind of work anywhere really that I want, it's so easy to keep my brain on. And that's why I'm also someone that really likes a clean slate. I like a lot of neutral colors, not only because it looks really nice and classy and it ages well, but also because it gives my creative brain a blank canvas where I don't feel so easily stimulated by everything around me. And then also it allows me to focus on meaningful goals. And that helps by giving my brain space to think by not being distracted by what is around me. So a part of intentional living as well is taking care of the space around me, being intentional about the space around me, and giving each area of my life a designated place, okay? So I know when I also come home, this is another thing, especially for my atomic habit type girlies, by the way, you have to read that book. That type of structure allows you to be able to see things very clearly. You're setting your intention for the day. You know your why of why you're doing something. I also have the 5-minute journal, which I highly suggest you guys get. That is really, really life-changing. But these habits really help to give you clarity and give you purpose so that you're not waking up and you're like, no, like, what am I doing? You know, you're really, really focused on knowing what you're going to do in the day. I also want to add in intentional living that when you set a plan, that you respect yourself and you actually follow that plan. I do not like the feeling of disappointing myself. I do not enjoy the feeling of saying I'm going to do something. Like for instance, when I book a class on a certain app, I have to show up, or if I miss a certain amount of classes, I get penalized for missing those classes. I obviously don't want that to happen. And it also doesn't feel good to say I'm going to do something and not do it. It feels better to force myself to do something that I know is good for me in the end and I got it done. I've never not wanted to go worked out anyways, and thought, dang, well, that was a waste of time. No, it's never happened. But I have felt the regret of, dang, I really should go to the gym. But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sit in bed and eat snacks anyways and complain about life. You know what I mean? Like how I look or something like that. I regretted that. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's also tons of inspiration. Like you have, obviously, this podcast. You have this channel, okay? And then there's a ton of other people that have channels out there, free content on the internet that you can engage with that will help to get you into that intentional mindset and really speak to you. Also, there's other podcasts, things like that. Second is productivity and habit formation. So in reinventing your life, habits are important. When we look back at life, every day seems the same. But yet when we look back, either a lot has changed or maybe nothing has changed. And that all depends on your activity. So the reason that this is so important in your professional life and success is because you need a system to implement balance of work, your life, and also your passion projects. Okay. And it can start with one small habit like journaling. Like I had the 5-minute journal. I read through it. I know why it's important to implement that. I also stick to a routine of every day I wake up, I do my devotion. I don't, and I really try to not get up and immediately get on my phone and start scrolling, which I have done before because one time I was on Instagram and like lately a lot of comedic content has been on my Instagram, and next thing you know, I'm laughing for 4 hours straight. Okay, Asha, we woke up at 6. It's now 10 a.m. You see what I'm saying? It's so simple. And to you, it's like, dang, this feels good because you kind of, if you're anything like me, you want to search for a reason to be up, right? So engaging in that content, it keeps you up. But the second you try and focus on something else, you tend to find yourself falling asleep. You see what I'm saying? You know why? You have to Mel Robbins the situation and 5, 4, 3, 2, hop out of bed like a rocket, okay? The 5-second rule, okay? Implement that if you have to. So I think it's very important to have these habits. Like for instance, I also do my devotion. I read my Bible in the beginning of the day so that it's setting the tone for my day. I think also being into, this is the spiritual practice that I'm into with this faith practice that I've implemented, which is reading my Bible, doing my devotion, is something that I take very seriously because it actually sets the tone for my day. What is going to set the tone for your day to really make you feel like that girl, to also make you feel safe and to make you feel protected? For me, that's reading my Bible, and that makes me feel safe, makes me feel like the day's going to go great. And then it also makes me feel like, okay, I make sure that I checked that off. I spent time with the Lord. And then also I have my journal where I'm setting my intention for the day, writing down things that I'm grateful for, giving gratitude to my Lord and Savior. Thank you very much. Okay. And I'm also using, a planner. And I highly suggest you guys use planners or planner apps or trackers, habit trackers. There are a ton of free resources. Maybe you can get like a little printable situation on your iPad because I'm an iPad girly. Are you? Same. So you can get that, have it on your iPad. You can have something on your phone. Guys, we all know there are ways on ways in order for you to implement habits in your life, tracking those habits. And then I also want to emphasize this. For those of you that struggle with time management, like myself, right? You want to incorporate time blocking. I used to feel really limited to time blocking, but I also learned this is a part of living intentionally and habit formation, is time blocking things out and respecting that time, even when it comes to breaks. So if you have ADHD, right? Because sometimes my brain is like, I feel like I need to implement what you call the Pomodoro method. And the Pomodoro method is a method where you work for an extended period of time and then you take a break for an extended period of time. So that's why when you work, and when you play, instead of trying to vacillate between you're on your cell phone, you're trying to keep on this task and whatever the case is, it's not going to help you be productive. But if you're working, let's say for 20 minutes straight, and then you're about to get a 5 or 8 minute break after, it allows you to focus on the task because you know that a break is coming. And I promise you, this is a game changer in your habit forming because it's going to keep you productive and on task. You know you're about to get a break. So there's no reason to not focus on this task for the next 20 minutes. I go on YouTube and I do study sessions with people all the time. And I'll do it whilst I'm doing other things. Another thing as a part of habit forming is like in Atomic Habits, what James Clear wrote, habit stacking. So what you do is, whilst you're doing something that you may not enjoy, you do something that you do enjoy. Let's say you hate folding laundry. Call a friend, fold the laundry while you're on the phone with your friend. I didn't say sit on top of the laundry. I said fold the laundry. Fold the laundry while you're on the phone with your friend, or have your favorite show in the background whilst you're also doing laundry. That's habit stacking. Listen to a podcast. That's what you can do in order to get work done. I do it all the time and it really helps me. I'm on the phone a lot, okay? So me being on the phone, I'm shaking and moving. I'm not sitting in one place while I'm on the phone with my friends because I'm able to actually get things done, or even go for a walk instead while you're on the phone with your friends as well. So now you're getting some steps in, you're implementing something that is healthy. There are so many ways, but back to the time blocking. Respect the time that you say you're going to do something. So I went off and told you guys about the Pomodoro method. So you want to, when you're taking a break, take that break. I know your brain is probably trying to tell you, like that inner rebel is like, don't take a break. Keep going. Trust me, take a break. Because your brain is going to try and overcompensate, especially when you're just starting out at this. This is all about respecting yourself and respecting your word, honoring your word. You say you're going to study for 20 minutes, study for 20 minutes. You're going to take a break for 10, you take a break for 10. Do you understand me? Respect your time. The other day I went to the gym and I was like, okay, like I really wanted to do another workout. I didn't even want to go to the gym. After I was done with my Zumba class, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready to stay at the gym for another 3 hours. Because why not? It's fitness. Right? And then I was like, but Asha, like you should just go home like you planned on doing because there's something else you're supposed to be doing at home. So like my brain, the old me, I would have justified it and been like, oh, just stay at the gym for another 3 more hours because I'm working out, right? But I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. I went to the gym for my class and now I'm going home so I can finish the next task. I'm not going to justify it in my head and be like, oh, well, you're still doing something good anyway. Again, it's about time blocking and honoring your word. That really helps you with productivity and habit formation. Out of everything that I'm talking about, I'm telling you, these things are game changers. All right, next thing. Also, before we actually move on, I want to say there are tons of like planning channels out there that you can follow. I like watching people plan. I remember the time where I was also like the most organized in life. I was really obsessed, which I started watching her content again, the Flourish Planner. I really like her on YouTube. There are tons of other people as well. Like I'm a really like organizational type of girly. I love neatness, cleanliness, very non-chaotic, clean, pristine to the T. Like definitely like strong type A tendencies. I like stuff in a certain order. Anyone that actually knows me in real life knows this about me. So I like to do things with people. It makes me feel less alone, even though I'll be by myself, something like that. But I'll study with someone, like I said, where whenever they take a break, I take a break. They have study sessions on YouTube. This is free content, guys. Also, I will watch people's YouTube channels that are relevant to what I'm interested in. Like, hey, plan the month of March with me. Hey, plan the month of December with me. Stuff like that. So I'm doing it. They're doing it. I feel like I'm doing it with someone. You picking up what I'm laying down? Okay, next. Now we're going to get into financial literacy and independence. So this is a subject that I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm the most qualified to speak about, but I think there are just some basics here that are very important. So I know how important it is to build credit and also how easy it is to get into debt. So one of the suggestions that I've heard people tell me is to use your credit card almost like a debit card. And this will help to teach you some accountability and financial responsibility. So if you're someone like me that doesn't like using your credit card because you don't like to use money that you don't have, what helps is, let's just say, even getting a gas card. That's a very good idea. Getting a gas card and then just paying off that card also is something that I heard can help you build credit. This is not a build credit type of, podcast. I don't know much about it. I'm just giving you very little basic information of what I know thus far because I am not qualified to even speak about financial literacy. I'm just sharing what, little tidbits that I have. So that also is really great. And then also just teaching yourself accountability. So let's say you go and you use your credit card and you just bought like $100 worth of groceries. So what you do is immediately transfer the $100 out of your checking account straight into your credit card account. My app allows me to do so and pay off those groceries immediately. So as soon as you're done with that transaction on your credit card, you're paying it off. You're basically using your credit card like a debit card. Do you understand? So technically, you're seeing that money leave immediately, like a debit card. And then I also want to let you guys in on this secret. So I heard that it's very important also to use your credit card because apparently when you use your debit card, the banks, let's just say you lost your credit card or something like your debit card, the banks are not going to fight as hard for you to get your money back because that's your money in your own account. They're not going to care. But if you lost your credit card or something like that, that's the bank's money. They're good. They're more likely to fight for you getting your money back in any scenario if you're using your credit card. So we know that whatever, that's just how America is really built, or maybe even the world. It is built on credit and that's how it goes. But you don't have to be someone that uses it irresponsibly. No one says to go, you have a $15,000 limit and you're going to Chanel and you're buying a $5,000 bag. That's absolutely ridiculous because is that money in your debit account? Can you transfer that money straight out of your debit account and pay it off immediately? Ask yourself that. If I cannot transfer this money out of my debit card immediately, maybe I should really consider if that's something that I should be doing. You also want to make sure that you are having some sort of, building some sort of financial independence. I understand, yes, we want rich men, okay? We want guys that's going to provide, okay? I understand that. And I'm not against it. Like I am definitely of the thought of having more of a traditional type of relationship where that is something that is discussed for me in my relationship, obviously, where, okay, I know that my husband is going to be the provider, yada, yada, yada. However, I do think it's important to have something going for ourselves just because it gives us that esteem and character. There's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom, all the things. No issues with that. But I think it's important while we're able to exercise our ability to have a little something going for ourselves so that we're not completely reliant where we have zero coming in on our husbands, because at the end of the day, like it's just nice to be able to have your own hobby and to have your own thing so that when you're at Starbucks, you don't have to ask him to Zelle you the $7.99 because and you're telling him to hurry up because the person in line is getting impatient and you don't have any money in your account, and you don't also have to rely on some sort of like allowance or whatever. It just makes things a lot more easier. Trust and believe me when I tell you, you want to live your life like that. And then also there's apps like Rocket Money, Mint, to help you budget your finances, things like that. And then also you try educating yourself in investing in stocks and real estate, all these different things. I recently got into real estate, so I've been getting interested in that and all the things. So that's my little sneak peek as to what I've been up to, guys. I'm a real estate agent. Yeah. No. You heard that correctly. Yes, you should log on to YouTube right now if you're listening to this and look at my face. Look at me dead in my eyes. Yes, guys, I wear many hats. I'm a real estate agent. And so yeah, I've been busy. I've been doing a lot. I do a lot. Okay. Like, let's just take a pause right now. I have a podcast. I'm going to be uploading way more frequently on this channel. I'm going to be uploading vlogs again. Plus I have, the podcast, regular YouTube videos, plus my channel, plus my coaching business, running my real estate stuff. It's just, speaking, hosting events, all the things. I do all of those. So very occupied. So these things actually apply to me too, as it pertains to reinventing myself and sticking to a plan and following what it is that I say I'm going to do. So, and of course you want to make sure that you have a savings account. Please, ladies, I know, like you want to have an emergency fund for any of your, financial, issues, or just you want to have a plan for your financial goals first of all. And I want to say, to me, that looks like having a savings account. And when I tell you, I have a high yield savings account, and I'm not sitting here trying to be like, oh my gosh, like I know everything. I really don't. As I learn, I will share. But I really don't know much. I'm, just like starting out here. And I feel like, again, having a savings account and seeing that money accrue, over time is really, really wonderful. And it keeps me really motivated. And it's like, I have zero desire to take money out of my savings account and spend that money. I do not have any desire to do that. It's like that money doesn't even exist to me. That's how you should look at it. The money in your savings account, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist to me. So you should have some sort of savings just so that you are maintaining some sort of financial responsibility in that aspect. I really think that's really important if you can. I also want to add for financial stuff, I think the books to read is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then there's a guy that had a show on Netflix, I Will Teach You How to Be Rich. He also wrote a book. I think his name is Ramit something. He's great too. And then of course there's YouTube channels like Graham Stephan, The Financial Diet as well. There are so many resources out there to really help to give us some financial literacy. So I really suggest you guys start to educate yourself, especially, we as women, we need to learn this stuff. I know how intimidating it can feel. I'm in it with you. I know how daunting it is. What the heck is stocks? All these different things. And girl, I still don't have the answer to that. Okay. Like I'm as basic as it gets with this stuff. Hello. So I'm not saying you have to be like a whiz and trying to trade on like the New York Stock Exchange. I'm just saying like, just your basic, use your credit card as a debit card by actually transferring the money from your debit card immediately once you make a purchase on your credit card. Have a savings account at the very least, and try to manage your finances on Rocket Money or Mint or something of that nature. And yeah, like that's the basics of it all, okay? And then educating yourself by reading certain books so that you can rewire how you feel about money. Next, we have physical health and wellness. Now, this obviously goes without saying, and honestly, I could be doing a lot better, especially for someone that's in my 30s. Like strength training is everything in your 30s. And I do like to do obviously Pilates. I love a HIIT training. I'm going to get into like, Orange Theory and things like that. I've been craving a warm Pilates session, like real bad. Like I want to like sweat. I just feel it. I'm very intuitive in my body and I just feel like that's what I need. So I'm so excited for my class tomorrow because I'm going to be in my first hot Pilates class in a long time. Well, this one's called warm Pilates, but whatever. I'm still grateful to be in the building nonetheless. So yeah, there is definitely a connection, as we definitely know now, between physical and mental health, or mental well-being. And as we also know, there's a connection between the gut and your brain health as well. So depending on your diet, it's going to affect your gut, and depending on your gut, it's going to affect your brain. It's going to affect your emotional well-being as well, which is why eating foods that are highly processed, very unnatural, every day for breakfast, you're having pancakes, you're eating bagels, by lunch, you're having pizza, and by dinner, you're having, French fries and chicken nuggets and hamburgers. That's not necessarily the best diet to live off of because there's no life-giving nutrients where you have fresh fruits, fresh vegetables into your diet, okay? And I'm also of the belief that taking supplements is very important. My two favorite brands is Pure Encapsulations and Thorne. Those are pretty much and Mary Ruth vitamins. Those are the only vitamins that I know I consistently rotate with. I'm sure there are a couple of others that are all in my Amazon storefront, but those three brands I religiously stick to, and I absolutely love them. So I know more than ever now, luckily, we are in the day and age where a lot of people are prioritizing their holistic health and they're trying to, decrease their stress, decrease burnout, and all the things. I love workouts such as like HIIT training, like I said, Pilates as well. I love like a warm Pilates type of situation. I don't do yoga, not into yoga. You guys know why I'm not into yoga. Don't ask me. Okay. I know that I was doing a vegan meal prep for a while. Yeah, I was doing that, but then I got kind of tired of it. So I'm like searching for something else. And I will be honest and tell you that having those meals already prepared, I was doing that consistently. And I did see a dramatic difference now that, yeah, I might have to. Yeah. But again, not all of us are able to access, those meals. And my boyfriend was paying for those, to really be honest. So yeah, I really do suggest, if you can, try and eat, this, you know, healthy things that are pretty much the same. Let's just say, okay, for breakfast, you have some fruit and oatmeal. Okay, that's a very filling meal. Then you'll have for lunch like a protein shake and like a sandwich or something like that. And then for dinner, you'll have like vegetables with, you know, like I'm vegan, so like I've been eating these tempeh sandwiches at Whole Foods lately, and I've been loving them. I don't know what it's called a TTLA, I believe, and it's like a tempeh type of. It's basically a BLT, but it's vegan, so I like that, and I'll eat it with like some chips or whatever, or sometimes I'll just eat it alone. I also like to drink coconut water as well, and I have this app. I have this app on my phone called Yuka, and Yuka allows you to scan different food items, and you can see rated out of 100 how good that food is for you, what is bad in the food, and then it recommends healthier alternatives for you to have. You guys need to download that app if you want to be health conscious. I don't count calories or anything like that. I've tried a million times. For some reason, it does not work for me. So that's just my personal lifestyle. I'm okay with knowing the health of the food. So if I see that a food that I'm eating is a 5 out of 100, then I'm like, okay, I shouldn't get that candy bar there. You know what I mean? And I don't have to purchase it in order to figure it out. I can just scan it on the app while I'm in the store. Any product at that too, you know? So little things like that really help me, as well as you can also do this with skincare products as well. You can see how healthy something is for your skin, lotions, like whatever, like the list goes on. So it's very important to incorporate that exercise. To me, weight loss at the end of the day is sweating, peeing, and pooping. That's how you expel toxins. That's how you break down the fat. The fat has to expel somewhere. Are you peeing, pooping, and sweating? Yeah. When you simplify it like that, think about it like this. Why do people go in the sauna? You're sweating out those toxins. You're breaking down that fat after you just literally did a workout, all the things. And that's going to help you to have a slimmer appearance, in addition to also increasing your water intake as well. You know, stretching, please hear me out when I tell you, ladies that are 30 and above, after 30, we tend to lose our balance, which is why I love Pilates. I love bar, all the things. And stretching is so important. I am naturally hyper flexible, so I'm more limber than normal, but I definitely can see a difference in how my body has gotten a lot more stiff, because when I'm working out, like let's just say I'm working out by myself, I don't like stretching. I don't, but I know when I go take a class, I don't mind the stretching, and I'll do the stretching and I'll realize, wow, this is really good for me, because you want to keep your bones agile. You want to keep your body agile. So please, ladies, I don't care what age you are, do not skip over the stretching aspect. I'm telling you, it's really going to make a big difference, and you want to make sure that your body's always limber and agile. And then of course, like I said, there are channels. There's also fun ways to do fitness. Sometimes you want to have fun. I like to dance a lot. There's the Fitness Marshal. I also like, what's this girl? And I forgot what her name is. And she always says like, what's up clowns or something. I don't know what her name is, but she also has a channel that I like, and she dances. I like Lily Sabri. I love Chloe Ting. I love Blogilates. She was my number one tried and true girl. Blogilates with Cassie Ho. She's incredible. And they have free plans also, calendars that you can print out for free that give you a workout to do every day. So no one said you have to go get an expensive gym membership. You don't have to have a Pilates membership to do Pilates in your home anymore. You could, if you had the room, I don't know, buy a reformer at home and use it, or you don't have to buy anything. You can literally be in the comfort of your home, get a little yoga mat, or just lay on your carpet and do the workout in the comfort of your own home. I don't want to hear any excuses, because you can do this and you will do this. Okay? No excuses. And then also, one thing that has changed the game for me is the steps, baby. We have really taken things to the next level when it comes to health and fitness, where we really realized that, baby, all it takes is steps. Oh, yes. So while, again, this is like a habit stacking thing. While you are literally, on the phone with your friends or whatever, put on your Apple Watch, because like if you don't, then like, were you even walking? Did you even work out? Like little things like that though really motivate me. And then also like add one of your friends to your Apple Watch so that you can see and use that as motivation. Like, oh man, okay, my friend got in 20,000 steps today. Man, let me try and get 10,000, and then you start to learn, okay, I'm noticing it takes me an hour and a half to get 10,000 steps in, how can I get 20,000? Like, by maybe walking twice a day. And you're not even like speed walking either. Like you're just literally walking and you get these steps in, and this is healthy. And you naturally start to lose weight also by just moving your body and simply walking. I know it's a little chilly now because it's wintertime, which is why, okay, you can do like go to your gym and do like an inside situation. Maybe you can find, bundle up, go to a track somewhere. I think that's free. Yeah, you don't have to pay for a track. So you have the treadmill option, or you can go to a track somewhere. There are ways. So again, I don't want any of you to listen to this and feel like, oh my gosh, like I have to spend all this money. Now let me tell you something. It does cost to be the boss. I ain't gonna lie about that. But I want to be very honest and realistic with you guys and let you know, especially for my younger girls, if you're like in your 20s, like early 20s watching this and like you don't have money or anything like that, like you don't have to spend money to incorporate any of these activities. Maybe some of the apps you might have to pay for though. I'm not gonna lie. But like, come on, like you guys managed to all have the latest sneakers on, the New Balances on. We find ways on ways, okay? Especially in this new generation. You guys can make it work. So there's tons of YouTube channels that you can watch for inspiration that really help you with your health and wellness. And aside from your health and wellness, I'm very big on my spiritual health, which is, praying to my Lord and Savior. I go on prayer walks at times where I will literally pray out loud to myself as I'm walking. It goes by so fast for me that I was like, wait, why don't I do that again? You know what I mean? So I get to pray not only for myself, for my friends, my family, because I'm praying for so long. I'm also habit stacking, right? I'm getting those steps in. I'm also spending time with the Lord, communicating with him, all the things. So this allows me to really like get myself together. You understand what I'm saying? I never leave a prayer walk and feel like, man, that was an accident. That was a waste of time. No, I feel incredible about myself. And then also I love scheduling classes because it gives me that accountability where I'm like, man, I cannot miss a class that I scheduled. Like, what kind of person are you if you miss a class that you scheduled? I'm not trying to like be mean, but like also I kind of am. I don't know. No, I'm not. But again, accountability. You want to make sure you have accountability. And lastly, career development and entrepreneurship. Okay, so yeah, we know a lot of people are stepping into the entrepreneur thing, and girl, it is not for the weak, all right? But a lot of people are redefining their success by exploring their side hustles and, their career flexibility. There are tons of people that have their, 9 to 5, and they also have sometimes a 5 to 9 as well. So maybe that could look like building a strong LinkedIn profile, or your own personal website, or, having your little side hustle. I know there are people that give little consult calls on the side that allow them to give career advice to people that are in their area of expertise. And then you also have, of course, there's resources out there to help you with your career and productivity. And I'm telling you, you're never going to regret investing in yourself. Like I said, I'm a realtor now, and I took the time. I went to school. I did all the things. I passed my test on the first try, all the things. I was so ecstatic. I could not believe it. Everything happened so fast for me. And I'm super grateful for that whole process. And it really lit a fire under me where it really showed me like, wow, Asha, you're way smarter than you think, or way smarter than you thought. And you can genuinely do whatever you put your mind to. I wear so many hats. I am so many different things. And I understand that may be not as palatable for some people to grasp. But I am a multi-hyphenate. I am a lot of things. And either you love it or you don't. And I'm okay with whatever side of the coin that you're on. But that's just genuinely me. And for where I'm at too in my 30s, and I realized like all of my entrepreneurial endeavors and my ambition and just my drive that I have, like all of that is a part of just what makes me me. And I absolutely love it. And so I too have, obviously I have a career in social media, but I also do have something that's tangible. And I was like, you know what? I want to explore what this avenue can look like. There's so many other things, like working on my product-based business and all the things that I'm going to be accomplishing. And you can do it too. Okay? You absolutely can do it too. And I understand that sometimes being an entrepreneur does require you to have a little bit of a cushion, meaning you shouldn't be in a place where you're worried about how you're going to sleep, where you're going to sleep, if you're going to be able to afford your car note or something like that. I do think just to be smart about it, you should have some family support of some, in some way, or a little bit of something to fall back on, before you just, like, at the very least, you don't want to have to worry about the basics, like where you're going to live or something like that. Because then you have to prioritize something else in order to do, you have to do what you have to do so you could do what you want to do in that type of case. But if you are someone that has the luxury of just pursuing your entrepreneurial endeavors, why not start now? Why not? You understand? There's no one on this earth that is ever going to be you. That is genuinely your superpower, okay? That is you claiming your crown at the end of the day, where you're like, you know what? I know I can do, first of all, I can do all things in Christ that gives me strength, okay? So when I think about that and I think about where my identity comes from, this really all aligns with how I reinvent myself and how I redefine myself by literally taking myself very seriously. That is a call to action for all of you. Anyways, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in on today. I want to know in the comment section down below if you have any tips that you want to share that you're utilizing to reinvent yourself in 2025. Because we're not waiting till 2025 in order to start rebranding and redefining ourselves. Are we, ladies? No, we're not. With that being said, do not forget that I love you and God loves you. And I'll speak to you, beautiful angels, in my next podcast episode. Mwah.